Welcome to our Everlast tech support channel. Today we'll be helping you replace the front bezel on your TiG unit. We will start by fully opening the clear cover. Then using a flathead screwdriver, we'll need to pry out each corner of the cover. Now I'm going to remove the display panel. There'll be 4 screws at each corner holding the display board to the front bezel. Now we'll disconnect the wiring going to the display board. I'm going to disconnect the connections on the top control board. This unit has 2 ribbon cables and 1 multi-cable connector. Here I'm using a small screwdriver to scratch and break the seal on the red glue. This is to help reduce the risk of damaging the connector while unplugging. Now I'm just going to work from the top down. I'm going to start by removing these 2 screws going through the front bezel into the top tray. We'll need to remove the Phillips screw holding down this ferrite ring. And then unplug the control connections for the torch trigger switch and foot pedal from the top control board. You may need to remove a couple zip ties that's dressing the cabling so that you're able to pull it all down to the front of the machine. Now we can start to remove the connections and mounting hardware on the front DINS panel. You'll need to remove this 17mm bolt holding this copper bar to the DINS connector. Please note any additional wiring removed off of the connectors. Now I'm going to remove the 2 Phillips screws mounting the front bezel to the DINS panel on this side of the unit. Please also note the ground wire going up to the top set screw. If you're replacing this bezel on a Power Pro unit, you'll have an additional 10mm bolt to remove for your pilot arc wire located between your gas connection and control connection. On the other side of the machine, we'll have another 17mm bolt to remove from the DINS connector. Followed by the 2 Phillips screws mounting the DINS panel. Now we'll need to disconnect the argon line from the back of the 9mm quick connect. I'm using a small pair of side cutters to twist and bend up the side of the clip to unwrap the hose clamp. Then using a small screwdriver to help pry the hose line off of the barb fitting. Now we're going to remove the last 2 screws holding this bezel on. Now it's time to install the new bezel. We're going to start from the bottom and work our way up. So reinstall the 2 screws that go up through the bottom bezel into the frame of the machine. Then we'll feed our wiring back through for our DINS panel, and we'll reconnect the argon line to the 9mm quick connect. Here I'm using a pinch crimp style hose clamp, but any gear clamp style will work as well. While we're looking at the front of the unit, I'm going to reinstall the 2 screws that go in through the front bezel into the top tray. Now we're going to continue to mount the DINS panel, reinstalling the Phillips screws, then the 17mm bolts on both sides of the machine. When you're tightening down the 17mm bolts on either side of the unit, be sure to hold back and support the copper bars so they don't bend or get broken off of a control board. When installing the Phillips mounting screws on this side of the unit, be sure to reinstall the ground wire from the frame of the machine and the ground wire off the 7-pin connector. Be sure to reattach and check for other wiring that might have been removed from the DINS panel. Again, please be sure to hold back the copper bar when tightening down this bolt. Now we're going to reconnect the wiring from the 7-pin control connection to the top control board. Feed the wire up through the front of the machine, using a Phillips screw to remount this ferrite ring, and plug your connections back into the top board. Don't forget to dress the extra cabling with zip ties to help prevent the conductors from getting damaged or wedged between the case. Now we're going to remount and reconnect the display board. Install your 4 Phillips screws at each corner. Then push each side of the clear cover back into the front bezel. Finally, we'll reconnect the wiring from the display board to the top board. Thank you for working with us today. We hope that this video has helped you to replace the front bezel on your TiG unit.